What's up, folks? Kenlin Desmond with a new episode of TNE, the Nirvana Experience. And like I said many times before, when I started this show a couple months ago, I started it to talk about my love for video games and everything dealing with pop culture, such as comic books and all that type of stuff. I kind of deviated away from that because the show be going the way that it goes. But today I just want to just go back to to the basics of the foundation of the show. Um, Yesterday, Jay Jamal was talking, and he texted me an article that was on, I think, on Twitter, and that giant was talking about like some. It was two men, grown men, playing Yu-Gi-Oh. They were dueling each other with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and in the video, dude won. He ended up using I think I forgot what card he used, and he ended up winning. And and his wife gave him a sandwich, and I was looking at this video. I was thinking to myself, I'm trying to remember what card there was bro played, but I can't remember. I think he was I just tried to remember. I can't remember. My brain, the way my brain work, it ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna remember this shit. But he was he was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and it just and I thought about all I remember was I would have used the Living Foster card. I think he had, that's what it was. Bruh played Monster Reborn card. Like people who know, like people who listen and know Yu-Gi-Oh, they'll understand what I'm talking about. So he had played the Monster Reborn card, and I would think to myself, I would have used Living Foster instead. So I ended up texting him that. I ended up texting James that, and he called me a loser like everybody else do, him and Chris and all the folks. But it reminded me how much I love stuff like that. Like it just reminded me how much I love stuff like that. So today I'm gonna talk about a couple things. I'm gonna talk about my favorite top 3 anime. One of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards, just one of them. We're gonna talk about some video games, talk about anime, and comic books. So I'm gonna start off with my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card. All right, most people who listen to this show, I don't know exactly what my demographic is for the like listeners who listen to the Nirvana Experience, but I think that it's mostly people around by my age range or a little younger. So anybody around my age range, I'm kind of old. I'm 30, so anybody who around my age, they should know about Yu-Gi-Oh. And the Yu-Gi-Oh card, the most popular card to my knowledge is the Dark Magician and a Blue Eyes White Dragon. But it's another card that's right up there with it. It's called Exodia, and it's like the name of the card is Exodia, the Forbidden One, and it's a one turn kill. Like so, if you play that card and while you dueling, it's an instant kill. You instantly win. But the setup is Exodia is split up into 5 separate pieces. So if like the person who playing Exodia can play their hand and get all 5 of the parts of the Exodia to play, they instantly win. And the most scariest part about this shit can happen in any part of the game. In any part. So if you fucking around and ain't trying to counter it or stop him from playing his hand or freezing up his hand and stuff like that, if the person who playing Exodia get all 5 of pieces of the forbidden one on there, it's a one turn kill. It's instantly just gonna win the game. So I remember back in the day, I think I had to be like 13, 12. It was some like little Hispanic kids in the apartment where I lived at. And that was my first time actually seeing somebody use Exodia. Now, to be honest, I don't know if he was like that person was using Exodia right at the time, but that was my first time actually seeing like sitting on the sidewalk, watching them two play, and he using Exodia and like having it set up and shit, like actually seeing somebody use Exodia and shit. But yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the simple fact to even win with it. To even win with it, like I said, you got to have all five pieces to that one card on the board. And if somebody ain't cold enough to like stop you in your tracks, to stop you from playing it, or like the corner, bruh, that means you actually had to be cold enough to have all the pieces on the board to win. So that's why that's one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I told James yesterday, I ain't even saying a lie. I'm finna talk about some reviews and some nerd shit like today, like on the show. And that's what I'm about to do. For anybody that don't know, Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna talk about my top 3 favorite anime. So, for anybody that don't know, I love Dragon Ball. I was keeping up with the Dragon Ball Super manga, but like it's going over what happened in Dragon Ball Superhero, and I don't want too much. I don't cover up this shit, but I've been talking like rank my top 3 favorite anime. All right, so I like my number one. My number one. I'm gonna start from the bottom. My third most favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter, not the original one, the one that that was rebooted. Bruh, to me, that's like one of the best. Like, it's one of the best anime that you could sit down and watch, bro. It's so interesting, bro. It reminds me of Naruto. Like, well, I ain't gonna say Naruto, but it do kind of remind me of Naruto. I think that's why I like it, because the characters like Killua, Gun, Corrupted, because that's my favorite character. Corrupted, because my favorite character, because he kind of remind me like his eyes is kind of like the Uchihas from Naruto, and it's been a while. It's been a couple years since I even sat down and watched Hunter x Hunter, but I need to get back into it. I need to get back into it because that's like one of the best animes I ever watched. That's why when they made the announcement that it was coming back, like the manga was coming back and the anime was coming back, like I was happy as hell. I was ready to see it. My second most favorite anime is Naruto Shippuden. All right, I like the original Naruto, when they was kids and shit, but Shippuden, that just hit different. Like all my favorite characters just get like, bro, character development in Naruto is some of the best character development I've seen in anime, and I've seen a whole bunch of anime. My favorite character was Sasuke Uchiha at first, but that nigga ain't my favorite character no more, bro. After going back and rewatching Naruto Shippuden again, I have 2 favorite characters: Kakashi and Madara. Those two characters to me is like the best characters out of the whole series. And oh, I'm lying. I can't forget Pain. Cause Pain real deal came to the Leaf Village and destroyed it, like how Orochimaru and everybody else talk about they want to do it. Pain actually got that shit done and got some folks up out of here at the same time. And he was being like, and what really made me like Pain, he would beat Hinata ass. Like Hinata was trying to get up with him, but he would beat Naya ass too. He was like, I don't give no fuck about fuck about you trying to fight for Naruto. I will beat your ass too. I super like that, man. But Um, from Orochimaru to Kabuto, like like everything about the anime, I just super love. Now I never read the manga before. I've watched all 500 episodes of Naruto Shippuden, even the fillers. But like I said, everything about this show, the jutsus, the summonings, just the character arcs and everything. I just love. I always say, Sasuke ain't Naruto's best friend. It's Shikamaru, because even when Sasuke left the village or whatever and whatnot, and everybody was being green, that man, Shikamaru was the only one who was really being there for Naruto, like had his best interest at heart, and who was the one who was really pushing that man to be better and hanging with that man. But from Shikamaru hanging with him, everybody else started, kind of coming around too. But that's his Shikamaru is Naruto's best friend. My most favorite anime series of all time is anything Dragon Ball, from the original Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. And the reason I put it like that because each four of those series got something that I like in no particular order. Like for instance, like with Dragon Ball overall had better. One, it had better fights. It was really based off. It's really based off actual martial arts. Like it wasn't no such thing as Super Saiyan. Then to do the Kamehameha, you actually had to like be a special type person to do it. So everything these folks were doing, you actually had to fight. Like Krillin was a good fighter, Tien was a threat, Yamcha was a threat to Goku. Like Goku won Goku like doing today. He was a kid. He was a kid. He was still doing impossible stuff like taking on the Red Ribbon Army and all that type of shit. But Goku used to get his ass beat. Like, and people who don't remember, like in Dragon Ball, when Goku and Krillin were little, it was at one point Krillin was like colder than Goku. He fought better than him. Goku, by him being a Saiyan, he just had like natural talent, like natural ability. That's what gave him the advantage over shit. He couldn't even tell you why he was like strong, like how he was and shit. That's why I love Dragon Ball. The animation in the animation, like they drawn better. In my personal opinion, they drawn better. I like how, like I said before, you saw them folks train, and you didn't have to sit back and just wait for Goku to save the day. Even though this like what ended up happening, but anybody could have did anything. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was on their shit in the anime. Dragon Ball Z. My favorite character of all time is Vegeta, but we're not finna talk about him. The main thing that I do like, I'm gonna start with the thing I hate. The thing that I hate about Dragon Ball Z is Akira Toriyama, the author and creator of Dragon Ball. He didn't give people the same like love and shit that he gave the Saiyans. Like, how can you go from Dragon Ball where everybody being a threat, like Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, all them being good fighters and shit, to Dragon Ball Z, all on sitting on the sideline, especially Yamcha. Like, he's at this point, Yamcha a running joke. Shit, even in Dragon Ball Super, he didn't even participate in the Tournament of Power. That's how garbage he is. But that's the main gripe that I got with Dragon Ball Z. But what I love about it, Vegeta came in the picture. The Saiyan origin came in the picture. The Super Saiyans. Gohan became, like Piccolo was a good guy. It was a lot of shit about Dragon Ball Z that I super love. Like Cell, like, bro, that's my favorite. Cell is my favorite villain of all time in Dragon Ball history. Dragon Ball GT. I don't think I like about that Super Saiyan 4. All right, let's move on to Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super. It's like a love hate with that. Bro, I remember when the Tournament of Power first started was airing on TV. James would come on my house on Sunday. And me and him used to watch every episode of Dragon Ball Super, like the new episode, he'll come on my house and watch it. I don't know. I don't remember if he came on Sunday or Saturday, but I remember when he used to come over to my house and me and him used to sit in my room and watch this shit all the way to the end of the Tournament of Power and shit. That's one of my fondest memories with Dragon Ball Super. And plus, on top of that, this shit was just a good story, bro. Dragon Ball Super didn't get fired until the Tournament of Power. I ain't like all the retelling of the movies like Resurrection F and all that shit. I ain't like all that shit. It's just a waste of time. Dragon Ball Super became fire when the Tournament of Power came around. Cause Jiren wasn't no hoe. He was on them folks' ass. Like he was real deal on he was real deal on them folks' ass. Um, one of the things I didn't like about Dragon Ball Super, them sayings Khalifa, KL, and Kappa, them motherfuckers turn Super Saiyan by feeling some tingly shit in their back. I ain't like that. For Vegeta to turn Super Saiyan, bro, that man had to literally break down and start crying and get so mad and in despair to the point where he had no choice but to unlock his Super Saiyan power. Trunks saw Gohan die and was so mad and hurt that his Super Saiyan ability, like his latent ability, like just came out. Gohan was already a Super Saiyan, but for him to be the first Super Saiyan 2, he saw everybody get hurt and all that type of shit. And then when Android 16 got killed, it just seen Gohan straight over the edge and he became Super Saiyan 2. So like they had to go through some shit and experience some type of like, I don't want to use trauma, but experience some type of like heartbreak. Them motherfuckers in the other universe, like Kale and Cabba, all them folks, they just feel the tingling shit in the back and they just turn Super Saiyan. And then on top of that, when what's her name? Kefla was fighting Goku in the Tournament of Power, she turned to Super Saiyan 2 like it ain't shit. And all that time she just like what I seen these for work for so long. Like Vegeta and Gohan and Goku, they worked to even get to Super Saiyan. And then they worked even harder to get to Super Saiyan 2. Them motherfuckers just felt taking the shit in the back, turned Super Saiyan 1, then eventually went Super Saiyan 2. I'm like, I'm like, man, that shit stupid. But the reason, like I said earlier, the reason I made I'm making this episode. I love video games. I love anime. I love comic books. A couple of weeks ago, it's this website that I go to check to see am I eligible for advertisement. DC Universe Infinite, they work with me and ran ads on the show, and I love DC. Like that's my favorite. Like between Marvel and DC, if I had to pick, I would pick DC. And because Wonder Woman is my favorite. Like Wonder Woman, my favorite superhero of all time. Because I just like how she fight, look. I just like everything about Wonder Woman. And I remember when I was growing up, I used to go to the library. And I used to see them comic books with like I used to always see Batman comic books in in the library that I used to go to. It was always be Batman, always be Batman. So I read some of them, and I read some comic books, and then I see him with Superman and some of them. So I started reading comic books, and they used to like be like an escape for me. Growing up where I grew up at, if you don't have somewhere to escape the bullshit, bro, you could become part of the bullshit real fast. And video games and comic books was my escape. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, I started reading the comic books and I got caught up in the bullshit. I did, I was doing shit that teenage boys do that when they don't got nobody around to lead them right. Not saying that my parents didn't lead me right. It's just like I just got into some shit. But man, them comic books and anime, bro. More particularly the comics, bro. Like right now, I'm a grown man. I have by me working with DC with the ads and stuff. They gave me a 6-month subscription to DC Universe Infinite. So I be reading comics all the time. Like right now, the current comic book I'm reading is Wonder Woman junk. It's they having a trial. I'm gonna go to it. They having a trial by comeback type of situation going on. Yep. So it's loading up. I read these comments every day. Yeah, trial of the Amazon. That's the name of it. And this like to be honest, to be completely honest, I ain't expect that jump to be this fat like it is. It just can't. Well, this kind of like a relatively new Wonder Woman comic, but it came out last year in like April of 2022 or something like that. And that's the main thing I've been reading, like Wonder Woman comic books in DC. And, even to this day when I read the comic book, my mind just automatically takes me into their world and everything. So when I be finding myself reading Trials of the Amazon, it be feeling like I'm there in Themyscira, but like not actually there. It's like I'm just like seeing everything from first person. Like I'm actually seeing like everything just fold out in front of me. And that what made me becoming like a huge DC fan. Like over the years, I was reading comic books. I read some of Marvel books, like some of Marvel comics, but I just can't get into they comics like that, like Spider Man. The only Marvel people comic that I really like is X Men. I love X Men. And Cyclops is my favorite X Men. But other than that, I can't really get into Marvel for some reason. But over the years, I read so many DC comics, like The Killing Joke, like some of everything. And then what make it even better for me, I love playing video games. People acquire like the studios acquire the license for the characters and make games. Like for instance, NetherRealm Studios like acquired the license from DC to make uh, the games like Injustice and everything. So they came up with their own original story for Injustice, where you can see Batman versus Superman and Wonder Woman and Superman they together, and like it just I just get caught up in their world. And to this day, I still love it. Like that's why I tell people all the time, ain't nothing wrong with reading like a manga or a comic book or watching anime or playing a game. If you like it, no matter how old you is, you can do it. To the point blank period. And I always try to convince people, you know, even though my friends always tell me they be like, cause I be no like I'm gonna tell y'all something. I know shit without me knowing how I know it. Like for instance, me and Chris can be talking about something. Let's just say we talk about an anime or something, and he'll send me a clip of it on TikTok, like send me a TikTok, and I'll be looking at that like I seen this before. I think I know about this, and then when I realize when I watch, I'm like, I know exactly what this is, bruh. And I can't even tell you when the last time I even sat down and even watched anime or anything, but I just be knowing. I think it's just like stuck in my subconscious that what I be reading and don't be remembering this shit like that. Well, but even though my friends be making fun of me, I know I know they just making fun. They ain't being malicious with it or nothing like that. I know they ain't just being dicks, but they be calling me a loser and shit like that. But I don't take that shit personal because like everybody got what they like. You know what I'm saying? And with me, it's nerd culture. That's why I named the show the Nerdvana Experience. I love anime. I love video games. I love comic books. I love that shit. It's just a part of me, and that's what makes me me. And even if somebody try to like make fun of you or convince you like not to like the shit that you like because it might not be normal for other people to like it, don't listen to this shit. Always be yourself, bro. No matter what. If you wanna sit here and read books, it don't even have to be an anime or comic. If you like to read, you just like to read. If you like to go to the library or Barnes and Noble to pick a book, that's what you like to do. Go ahead. Um, I be watching. It's this channel. Hold on, let me go to it. It's this channel on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Comic Story. Yep, that's the name of it. It's called Comic Story. And what they're trying to do is like if you want to like read a comic book, but don't actually want to like read it yourself. Comic Historian will like read the comic, but have the panels on the screen and voice actor like voice act the book out to you, voice actor coming to you, so you won't have to read it. But they like cross out certain things due to like uh copyright and shit. But it still be the full comic, and that's how I be finding out about a lot of stuff. I be knowing about when it come down to like pop culture with the comic books and shit with these superhero and shit. Cause I'll go to Comic Story and watch their stuff on their YouTube channel. And that's what I do most of the time. Like I'm gonna be real. When I ain't at work, well, I can't even say that because even when I am at work, like right, I be thinking about like I be thinking about like different different animes to watch, different like moves to do in Mortal Kombat. Like right now, the new Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat One, we're going to come out for the people who pre-ordered the premium edition within 7 days of this recording. So within 7 days of me recording it, I'm gonna be one of the people that's playing Mortal Kombat One. So every time where I be at work and I be sitting there thinking, I'm like, I want to know who I'm gonna play with because my favorite character in Mortal Kombat is Shang Tsung and Kano, and I like other characters, but not like how I like those characters. Um, Kano is not in the game. Shang Tsung in the game, but they never show no gameplay on him, so I don't know how he fight. So I be sitting there where I'm like, I want to know how Shang Tsung fight. I'm like, I need somebody with a low and the overhead. Like I really be talking to myself in my brain, like picturing like how I'm gonna play the game or how I'm a like come up with combos and shit. Like it's hard to explain. Cause it be time I be thinking like that, or it be times where I be like, I be replaying the comic that I read in my head, and I can actually see it happening. Or when I go on break, I like go on like content creators like page and see what they doing. Like Uncaged Games, he another round creator, a content creator. True Underdog, he another round content creator. Uh, Maximilian dude, that's my favorite content creator. He just cover fighting games all together. And Roofamonger, like I watch him, and it just I don't know. It'd be hard for me to explain like when it come down to this subject because for one, you know, me and all my friends like we have in common to all of us play games. The thing that we don't have in common is all of us don't play the same type of games. Like ever since they announced Mortal Kombat 1 months ago, I've been excited. Like I usually don't get excited for like games to come out except for WWE game. But what made me even more excited than a WWE game is a new Mortal Kombat game. And ever since they announced that game a couple months ago, I've been so ready to play it to the point where I'm like, man, I don't even want to play Mortal Kombat 11 no more. Like it's been plenty of time where I uninstalled MK11, reinstalled it, uninstalled it, reinstalled it because I'm so anxious to play the new Mortal Kombat. I'm a PC gamer. I have Mortal Kombat 1 pre-ordered, but I wasn't able to play the beta because I don't have a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. So and the beta was only on console. So other people even they at least they had the chance to feel how the game play and play with like certain characters and stuff. I ain't do none of that. So it's like my anticipation just like I'm just so excited to play that. And I know it sounds crazy because I'm a grown man being this excited to play a game, but I don't give a fuck. I like what I like. It's like, bruh, I'm just so excited for it. And it my friend they play Mortal Kombat, but they don't play it like how I play it. Like my friends married and got wife and kids. That's understandable because you have responsibilities and shit. But I don't have children. I don't even have a girlfriend. That's by choice though. Um, I be want people to connect with just like the same stuff that I like. what I mean by that is, like I said a couple minutes ago, me and all my friends play video games, right? All of us will play Mortal Kombat, no issue. But I'm a fighting game enthusiast. I be wanting to just play fighting games and just like talk about fighting games and be invested in it. Not saying be invested in it to the point where like you're obsessed with it, but like try to figure shit out. Like for instance, perfect example. Uh, Chris, he gonna play Mortal Kombat when it come out, but instead of trying to go into the lab and figure out what go with what's safe and what's unsafe, what's the punish, what's the bait where you can get the overhead, the low, like how many frames this is. Like instead of being invested in it like that, he don't even go to practice mode. He see other folks do certain combos with the character he want to play with, and then do this shit online. And if he win, he win. If he lose, he get mad. I'm like, bruh, like go to the lab and practice and shit. He like, I hate going in there. This shit boring. But playing fighting games is the most funnest thing, bruh. That's the best part of a fighting game to me. Going to the lab and figuring out what you can lab and figure out what you can find out. The second best thing is actually doing it against a real person. See, did you come up with something that's like that can work? You know what I'm saying? I love playing new fighting game when you go into practice mode and you be like, what go with this? How safe is this? Like that's the best shit ever. And I remember I said that, I'm having the same conversation I had with somebody before. And bro looked at me and was like, bro, you need to go outside and touch some fucking grass. I'm like, damn. That made me feel bad, but I had to remember that like I like what I like. I mean, like, I get bashed by women sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone would be like, "Why is he playing the game?" Or "Why are you so happy about a game?" Like I get talked about some women, but it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I don't stop them from going to get their nail done or watching that bullshit reality show or like doing whatever they like to do. So why am I getting bashed for shit? Um, yeah, man. This episode ain't gonna be that long. 'Cause it's just me, and I just be talking about shit that I want to talk about or just be on my mind. And my love for comic books and anime and shit. This shit, dude, I'm gonna always love this shit because like the world already. I'm gonna tell you something. The world already ugly, right? The world already ugly. When I read books, not even just comic book, but when I read books, especially like fantasy books, and the author can create like a world just like real pretty and describe it in detail and shit, I love that shit. Like even though I know Themyscira is like the land of the Amazons and no man has been there. Well, I can't say that because Batman has been in Themyscira. One Superman's been there, but like in general, Themyscira is just like land for Amazons and only women. And I be picturing it because like the pictures that they show when I read it, I be picturing it in my head and I can actually see them moving around and seeing how pretty it is, how how pure the fruit and food is and all that type of shit compared to what we got. I was like, man, I'd rather like get lost in reading a book or reading a comic than deal with bullshit that's on Earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a I'm not a I'm not a activist when it comes down to like animals or the earth. But I do love the earth. I do love the environment. I stay saying it all the time. Uh, the earth, bro. When you actually sit back and look at nature, nature can be scary because I'm scared of rodents. But in the bigger picture, it's a reason why rodents even here, and it like for the ecosystem and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like salmon in the water, we catch it to eat it. The bears also catch it to eat it. Like everything, just like nature's just pretty, but it's ugly and dangerous at the same time. So I admire nature. Like when I watch nature documentaries and shit, I love watching it because that's actually like how it's designed to be. when you can actually sit back and look at a pretty landscape, seeing the sun set or rise over like trees and mountains and shit, man, this shit pretty. Like water and shit, like, bro. Especially, my biggest fear is drowning in the ocean. That's why I don't like taking cruises. I've never been on a cruise before because being on a boat on that much water will freak me the fuck out. So that's why I don't like do the cruise thing. But all that water, bro, that shit pretty as hell. Like water, like beaches and lakes and all that shit pretty. It's just dangerous. You gotta know how to like not put yourself in stupid situations if you go out there and get hurt and shit. And I'm not a vegetarian. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm all for eating animal. I like to eat meat, no homo. So like it's like if if I see a deer, I see like where I live at, I see deer all the time running like in the street and shit. But we don't hunt them or try to kill them or nothing. But if we was in a wild and I was hungry or something like that, and I had to hunt a deer, I learn how to hunt and I hunt that motherfucker. That don't mean I can't admire how pretty and majestic that shit is. Because to me, they was here to get eaten. You know what I'm saying? If they wasn't, bro, this how I look at it. If it wasn't meant for us to eat like the deer and the beef and all that type of shit, the first time we ate it back all the way back in civilizations ago, we would have died out. Like if it ain't nothing wrong with the animal, like no poison, no steroid, no nothing, you can eat that meat and don't die, you good. You get proteins from it. Bro, lion meat, they sell lion meat in like street markets in Mexico. And in not Thailand, it's one of them Asian countries. They actually sell real deal, they call it exotic meat, but it's like meat from a lion. And lions' arms and shit be so like muscleful, like it's real hard to eat it. But if you eat the lion, like you got to cook it or something, because if not, the toxin, like it's real toxic to the human body. So if you go out there and you hungry and you hunt a lion, you kill a lion and you skin it and eat it, you can die because the toxins inside the meat of a lion is toxic to us. So that means for a fact you shouldn't be eating no lion at all. The human body can't sustain that type of meat. But he go a duck or a swan. I mean, not a swan. He go a duck or a chicken. When you eat that and it don't do nothing to us, if it's like healthy and natural, we can eat that and it don't affect the human body. I understand that the animals have a life and everything like that too, but they're a food source. Like at the end of the day, because people be like, well, the animals can't defend themselves. Okay, certain animals can't defend themselves. And at a certain time when humans shouldn't even be dealing with the type of animals. But if you go out there for tigers and lions and shit and bears, some of them will see you as strictly as meat. And they will eat us up without a second thought. So I might as well start rambling and stuff. I'll start rambling and shit. Yeah, man, this is one of these episodes where I just want to like take it back to my original idea for the show, talking about how much I love comic books and entertainment and stuff like that. I don't know if Jay actually started yet the TikTok channel for the Nirvana experience, but eventually, like this is what I want to do as far as when it comes down to social media. Each week, when I record an episode and I upload and I distribute it to like the different platforms, we get hundreds of listens, right? We plug the socials at the end of every show, but we have little to no engagement. That's because we're doing it wrong. Like Jay said last week, the engagement that we're looking for is on TikTok, and I completely believe that. I completely believe this shit. So this is my vision for TNE. I only been doing this show for a couple months now. in May of next year, it'll be an anniversary of me doing my first episode. Right. What I want to do is expand the show. Like I mean, like I say all the time, in the process of like having it set up where when I do a pod, I'm gonna record like it's gonna be video too. So I'm in the process of getting that set up. Two, I'm in the process of like just making the overall quality of the show better. Try to have different guests on there because right now the only reoccurring guest that I have on the show all the time is Jay Jamal. So he on there once a month. But y'all love him because like them episodes be blowing up. Try to get more guests on the show, so we can have like different topics to talk about, bounce ideas off top of each other, and to explore the expand the socials. Twitter, which is X now, Facebook, TikTok, because I be wanting to hear what y'all got to say. Like, what if y'all like had an idea for an episode, and I'm like, you know what, that is a good idea. Let me go on and brainstorm on that. So again, I think Jamal Jay did yeah, he did make the TikTok. So all the socials are TNE Beyond. So it's on X is at TNE Beyond. That's the Nirvana Experience Beyond. TikTok is TNE Beyond. And you know, like I said, I ain't that good when it comes down to promote social media. So if y'all look, if y'all want to, give us ideas or throw us hints of like ideas about what to talk about in the upcoming weeks, man, just hit us up on Twitter, which is X now. I'm always say Twitter because it's been Twitter for the last 15 years, going on 20 years. But hit us up on like Twitter, like give us ideas for the show. Like give me ideas, like we can talk about uh anything really. Oh yeah, another thing that I want to get done for the show is like eventually do a live stream episode. So while I'm live streaming, y'all could be like putting your comments in the stream and shit while we doing the show live, and we just talk about what we see in the chat and shit like that. That's eventually what I want to get done. Like I said, I love doing the show. I love doing the podcast. I love talking to y'all. It's like this one of the few things that actually give me joy in my life right now. Like it's giving me some type of like purpose because I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life, and I just love it. It's a stress release. All these hundreds of people who listen to the show, I don't know what y'all look like. I don't know where ethnicity y'all is. I don't know what parts of the world you come from. All I know is that y'all take time out of y'all day or night and listen to me and my folks talk about the most randomest shit. Y'all listen to me and Jay last week talking about wrestling and me in that book, No One Rides for Free. Like y'all take time out y'all day to just hear me talk and hear me talk about shit that happened in my life and what goes on around me. And that's why I love this shit so much. I should have been I've been wanting to start a podcast years ago back in 2018. But instead of dealing on a what coulda shoulda, we dealing with it now. Um as always, I always say I appreciate everybody who listens to the show, whether you new or old. Next week, I'm gonna try to get Raquel on the show for the season finale for this season because we on season 2 now. I break the show down in two. I break the show down in season 10 episodes per season. We're in season 2, and I'm trying to get Raquel back on here again because it's fun talking to her, and she gave me some good insight. Um, I always appreciate people who don't even have to listen to my show, but they take their time out to listen to it. I appreciate you. Like I said, if you want to communicate or give us ideas or just comment about the show in general, you can do it over there on Twitter, which is now X, at TNE Beyond. Um, you go over there and look at some of the TikTok stuff at TNE Beyond. All the socials are TNE Beyond, except for Facebook. Facebook is the Nirvana Experience. Like it's a page. Um, And like I said, I appreciate everybody who took their time out to listen to me. And I'll see you next week. Peace.